back to my YouTube channel. I have a few other videos if you want to check those out, but let's just dive right in. Excuse me, before we dive right in, I want to show you this cute little boy. His name is Owen, and he's the sweetest little baby in my whole world. One of the sweetest little babies. Anyway, sorry, ignore my forehead. My big old forehead. And my voice today is kind of like, is not it. But let's just kind of move on. So today I wanted to talk about like the pros and cons of long hair versus short hair. I've had both. So without further ado, the pros of having short hair. Excuse me. The pros of having short hair. One, if you're like me, it will take you zero time to style your hair throughout the day. Personally, like when I had real short hair, I literally would just comb it, if that, and that was that. Like I'll run my fingers through it and it'll be done. So that's good. It really saves time having short hair like that. Not to mention that when you wash your hair, it dries so fast. When I first got my hair cut, it took half an hour tops to dry my hair. And I air dry my hair. Like, I don't use a blow dryer or anything like that. So it goes really fast. Another pro is that when it gets warm, like the weather, like it's just nice, you don't have any hair on your neck, you don't have any, real issues with that. It keeps you pretty cool, or it helps to keep you cool. That's pretty much it for that. The cons, however, that I have found is that one, upkeep on it. If you want to keep your hair short, you're gonna have to go to a hairstylist or a barber, or even cut it yourself every 2 weeks at the latest, just about, because otherwise it starts looking shaggy and just kind of weird. So there's that, and that can get pretty expensive. But if you're doing it yourself, there's always the possibility that it could get messed up, and with having short hair, there's really no way to cover that. So you're just kind of stuck with how it is until it grows back out, Let's see. Oh, also with having short hair, like I was saying, like when I have short hair, I don't usually do much to it. I just kind of let it be as it is. However, if you care more about your appearance, it will take quite a bit of time. Well, I say quite a bit. It will take a quick second to, style it, and then 9 times out of 10, if you're styling short hair, you're going to use either a gel or a hairspray, which personally for me, I don't like using either of those because of how it makes my hair feel afterwards. It just feels like all clumped together and kind of stiff, and so you would have to wash your hair so often. like daily if you use that. That is also a secondary con. I found that I would want to wash my hair more often when I had short hair. Just because that grease, like you could see it, uh, it feels like you could see it a little bit better. Um, you also have to deal with if you have like bangs or as it's growing out, like I've said, it will rub up on like your neck or get in your face or whatnot. And if it starts growing out, you know, and you have it say like you have like shaved out sides and you start growing them out, those are going to be so uneven. Um, and you know, you can go and get them fixed or fix them yourself, but you know, like I said, kind of covered that already. You can mess it up or it'll be real expensive. Um, so personally, I didn't, but I looked pretty bad. So I would try to cover it as much as possible. So I think that's about it for like the pros and cons of short hair. Now moving on to the pros and cons of long hair. Excuse me. So as far as pros go, one, you can style your hair in many different ways with longer hair. You can do it with short hair. I just find that there's more styles available to long hair, at least the ones that I'm interested in. Um, let's see. So for me, my long hair, it's kind of like a security thing. So, you know, having long hair, you feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more safe. Also, I tend to fidget with my hair a lot, so at least it gives you something to mess with, and the longer it is, you know, maybe you're able to like not necessarily play with the area near the scalp, but more so like towards the ends of your hair, um, which would help reduce the amount of oil that you're creating there. Let's see. You know, just kind of like, you know, you can style it and you can accessorize a little bit more uh, to match with your outfits or whatnot. You know, that sort of thing. I apologize, you guys. I don't know what's going on with my voice today. It's just doing whatever it wants. um, so let's kind of move on to the cons because I can't really think of any more pros. Oh wait. One more pro is that I find, at least where I'm at, you get more compliments while having long hair than you do when you have short hair. Depending on how you cut it, I think, because you know I've cut it into a bob or like a long bob, whatever, and I got more compliments that way on that haircut than I did when I shaved my sides, mostly because I live in a really small town and people are just not into that, I guess. Anyway, but I found that, you know, the longer your hair is, at least where I'm at, well, I say the longer. If you have long hair, you will receive like compliments on it, or people will treat you differently for having long hair versus short hair. Especially especially if there's already somebody with short hair. um, I find that people just, at least here, just find it weird for girls to have short hair. So if you have long hair, people will be like, okay, your hair looks good, you look nice, you know. um, Whatever. So you'll receive more compliments on it. um, let's see. But yeah, on to the cons of having long hair. First of all, is drying time. When I have long hair, it takes it takes a ridiculous amount of time for it to dry. um, it's just, yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Excuse me. Um, Secondly, is like, the wind. It's just gonna do whatever it wants. It's gonna ruin your hairstyle, especially if you wear it down. Um, if you are following like the girly tips of like how to take care of your hair and grow it out, um, you're gonna probably wear your hair in like a braid or so. Um, especially when you're sleeping. Oh, that's another thing too. Is okay. So when you're sleeping, sorry. So if you wear it in a braid, I find that if you're not careful, it'll really pull on that hair, on your scalp with it. So just kind of being careful with your hair, I would say, is another con. Um, but also, like, you're not gonna look. My point to that, sorry, I'm a total mess. My point to that was that you're not going to look like super majestic all of the time if you're, trying to take care of your hair and keep it protected or whatnot. Um, Especially if you do it like I do. I oil my hair once a week. Every Saturday, I put oil on my hair, on my scalp, and throughout the ends a little bit, and it is to help, like, I feel like it helps me grow my hair out. Um, but while I'm doing that, first of all, the oil that I use, it it's got a really strong scent, and so if you've got somebody with like sinus issues or allergies, it may not be very pleasant for them. Um, but also it looks a mess. I would not leave the house like that. Like, you have to wait. If you're gonna oil your hair, you would have to wait until you're going to be home for excuse me, for 2 hours before you do that, because I let it sit for 2 hours and then I take a shower. Another thing is, when you're in the shower, if you're oiling your hair, you're gonna use twice the amount of shampoo than you usually would, because I double shampoo my scalp after I oil it. Yes. And then with longer hair, you're also using a ton more conditioner than usual. Um, as my hair has grown, so has the amount of conditioner that I use. Uh, and, it takes more time to distribute that conditioner. Um, Similarly with, like, brushing your hair, um, like I said, with having short hair, it was just one and done. Like, I could just literally drag my brush across my scalp and it would be done. However, with long hair, it takes forever to go through and detangle and brush it and make it look nice. Um, but I will say this, like, as long as you're keeping up with it, it really shouldn't be too terrible. And if you start, like, sleeping in braids or in, like, more protective hairstyles, it should be a lot easier to brush and, take care of. But yeah, it'll take you a while to, condition and take care of it and dry your hair. And you want to go to sleep with dry hair. So if you're like me, you oil your hair in the evening and then you wait 2 hours, shampoo twice, condition, finish your shower routine, get out, and it'll take you a good hour or so for you to be able to even go to bed because you're waiting on your hair to dry. And you don't use a blow dryer or anything like that. You don't use a towel because is probably damaging for your hair strands. Good grief. So, it takes forever, and by the end of it, you're like, I'm ready for bed. So yeah, after that, let's see. But yeah, it just takes a while, and then like styling your hair. It's also like if you have a lot of hair, something that I kind of struggle with is like when I'm trying to do a different hairstyle, like say I'm doing braids or a French braid, I kind of struggle to know where I should draw my sections from. Like when you're pulling through, let me kind of see if I can. So when you're pulling through, like say you have hair like mine, okay, you have it just kind of sitting, and you want to just take that front part that I just drew, excuse me, as a section, but you're not entirely sure, if you got all of the hair or if that section is gonna pull. Like, you're not entirely sure if that's like a good section to use. And also, excuse my nails. They're clean. I just haven't repainted them or removed the paint on them. Cause I'm just kind of lazy, honestly. Oh, excuse that too. I've got dry patches from like the weather. It just makes it worse. So, let's see. I don't know. Like, I will say, like, one thing, like, if your hair is like mine, it can't decide if it's wavy or if it's straight. Um, it's actually probably a mix of both. Um, so there's that. Like, when my hair is shorter, I do notice, like, it waves better. And the longer that it gets, the more it's like weighed down, and so it just kind of ends up looking pretty straight. So there's that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you like having straight hair, that's totally fine. But personally, I like my waves. I like, seeing a little bit of, what would that be? Just like a little bit of a body to my hair. And, at least when I wear it down, but, I think that about covers it. I spent 20 minutes making like 5 points, so, um, so I just wanted to say thank y'all for, like, tuning in, and if you guys think of anything, like, well, you guys know what to do. I'm not gonna say that. I find it so annoying when people say that, so, you guys know, But yeah, I hope y'all have a good day, and yeah, bye.